Hello, my name's Carla Hitch. I'm the Pre-16 Coordinator at New College Swindon. We welcome applications from the long-term, electively home-educated community and also from local schools to use this as alternative provision for those young people who are currently in Year 10 and Year 11. If you're electively home-educated, there is a separate application form available on the New College website, and that will ask you all about what sort of context your home education takes place in. For the school applications, what we ask is that the parents, if it's the parents who are making the initial inquiry, then make contact with their head of school year, and from there they ask for a meeting and they discuss whether or not the school would like to move forward with making an application for that young person. The application form then in that instance comes from the school directly to us, along with a whole host of other information, including behaviour logs, attendance, school reports and so on. Now, regardless of whether school or home educated, the next step would be initial assessment so that we understand what level the young person is working at, and then an interview. Now, that interview process is really more of a conversation. It's where we get to know far more about the young person, their likes and dislikes, their interests, and most importantly, if they have got any ideas about what they would like to do moving forward in the future. And if they have, how we can then complement their home education so that that becomes a reality for them. With school funded, the school will make more decisions around the subjects which are taken, definitely ensuring that the 3 core subjects, English, Maths and Science, are included, as well as an additional 2. And the way that New College provides GCSEs and BTECs is that we provide them all in 1 year. So a young person can come to us for Year 10, and if they're home educated, achieve 3 GCSEs, or 1 BTEC and 1 functional skill. Their programmes are needed to work around the 450 hours limit that the government set to us. And the reason for that limit is that it then ensures that home education can carry on alongside it. Okay. Now, going back to the school funded, if they are school funded, because we're in essence replacing all of the education, the school funded students are able to choose 5 GCSEs or the equivalent with a BTEC and English and Maths. So we organise that and we work that through within the interview and we come to a conclusion. But as I say, that interview is more about what is the young person's needs, what have their experiences of education been to date, how can we best support them with making that transition. Now sadly we're not always the right person for every young person who applies, and we are limited to just 100 places per year for our pre-16s. So that means we need to choose the right young people for the right courses, choosing courses that they're interested in, they've got a passion in, and that they're definitely going to commit to. Once they start college and they've had their offer and they get their timetable, they're then embedded. So that means that they are actually in classrooms with the older students at New College. They are identified for safeguarding purposes. Now, safeguarding is very robust and we certainly take our duty of care incredibly seriously. Now, it works incredibly well by embedding them with the older students, those good learning habits, that good classroom, self-management, all of that takes place and develops really well. However, some of our young people can find that quite tricky, so we make sure that we have separate pre-16 tutorial groups every week. A huge number of our pre-16s also have one-to-ones with myself or one of our pre-16 instructors, and we also have a large pre-16 base room which is open all day every day, predominantly for study and quiet time, but also if somebody needs a bit of time out, a little bit of TLC, then that's what we are there for. The pre-16 team, it's small but perfectly formed. So there's myself as a coordinator, making sure everybody's on the right programmes, timetables are running smoothly, doing one-to-ones, linking up with schools and parents. There's Becky, our administrator. She's got the most fabulous memory for names. She's excellent. Now, as well as doing all the admin that's involved, including sending out a monthly newsletter to you all, she also goes around every single lesson initially and carries out what we call site checks. And that's to make sure that, as well as the register being done, obviously by the teacher, that we are having sight of our more vulnerable, less confident pre-16s in every lesson to check they are looking okay. And that continues throughout the year for those young people we feel needs it. We then have the lovely Danny. Danny's an ex-youth engagement worker, and her role is to be an academic instructor working in classroom with those young people I've identified would benefit from that support. And she also runs a number of one-to-ones targeting with young people any areas of concern that they may have. Now, before I say goodbye, I just want to say that you may have heard a few funny grumbles while I was making this video, and that would be Mr. Muttley, the pre-16 dog. He does come into the office, usually maybe 2 days a week. He's getting elderly now. He's 11 years old, so it's pretty much as and when he decides. But he's not a therapy dog, but what he is a lovely distraction for some of our young people. So if they're finding it a little bit overwhelming, they can always come downstairs and take Mr. Muttley out for a walk, and that works really well as well. However, if a young person is scared of dogs, all you need to do is let us know, and we just make sure that we arrange for times that he's in around the times that the young person isn't in, okay? Now, any questions that you've got this evening while you're on our virtual open evening, please ping them through and they'll get forwarded to me, and I'll be here ready to answer. Lovely to speak to you all, virtually or not. Take care. Bye-bye.